Hello, it's Simon Day here from the Three Counties Cider and Perry Association, and also cider maker at Once Upon a Tree in Ledbury in Herefordshire. And we are just putting this video together to tell you a little bit about what the Three Counties Cider and Perry Association does, a little bit about history, and to introduce you to a few of our members here today and taste a few ciders. And this is Albert from Ross Cider, part of the team. You want to talk a little bit about Three Counties?
Yeah, so as you may or may not know, the Three Counties, Herefordshire, Gloucestershire and Worcestershire, is the ancestral home of perry, particularly in this country, and there's even many pagan legends about the origin of perry being that famous Mayhill. And part of the association we have a number of world-class perry producers. We've got Oliver's Cider and Perry, Barter Street, Newton Court, Mallock, a huge number of producers, so it's a really exciting time to be starting to drink perry and looking out for it, because you may not even know what perry is. So very simply, if you make cider from apples, then you make perry from pears.
Cool. So the Three Counties was started back in 1993, and it's a group of cider makers who came together at the Big Apple Association Blossom Time Festival, who wanted to create a group of like-minded producers to work together, to learn from each other, and it's evolved since then to quite a large association, which has over 150 members now, and that membership is from the Highlands of Scotland right down to the Isle of Wight and everyone in between, obviously focusing very much on the history of the Three Counties cider producing area, of course. We do a whole number of events throughout the year, some quite formal, some less formal, some are just a right rollicking knees up, but it's all about getting together and learning from each other and basically learning to make great ciders. Talking of which, we've got a couple of ciders open here now. Albert, do you want to talk about I can tell you about what you're drinking.
Yeah,
you're drinking one of our ciders. So this cider is a little different. It's because my background is winemaking, we also make wine. This cider is made with wine lees, and we have a wine called Bacchus, a variety called Bacchus, which we fermented through, and then we use that same yeast lees from that wine to ferment Dabinet apple juice that's coming off of the press. So it's a very unusual, different style cider, very wine-like, lots of elderflower and citrus character coming through it.
Yeah, it's an outstanding cider, Simon. It's incredibly soft, really delicate, but with all sorts of additional complexity on the finish as an influence from those lees that keeps on developing and building in your mouth. I'm really impressed.
Thank you. And that's one of the great things about cider, is it can be an absolutely fantastic accompaniment to really good food, and that's what we started with Once Upon a Tree, was to really build on those exceptional flavours you can get with cider and the structure you get to work well with different food pairings. So tell me a little bit about what you've poured me then, Albert.
So this is the very first fruit that we pressed last season. So it's a single variety Fawn Perry. So Fawn is this lovely, really high citric acid, yellow, early season pear, which we pressed on its own, went into IBC, it fermented naturally wild, and then we've put it into bottle pet nap. So before it finished its fermentation, we bottled it, and then actually this is the first time I've ever disgorged it, so we've removed the sediment through a fancy mechanism. But should be bright, zesty, very intense perry.
It's absolutely beautiful, and it actually reminds me a little bit of flaky bark with that sort of citrus intensity. Absolutely delicious. It's lovely, really, really good. Lovely on the nose. It's sort of, again, it's a little too dissimilar with some of the aromas you get on there. That sort of hint of elderflower to it, and also sort of lemon pith, lemon skin aromas too. And on the palate, it's a beautiful level of fizz, a nice contrast. I mean, it's quite soft.
Thank you.
And crisp, and yeah, delicious. Really, really good. Well done.
Thank you.
We're going to introduce you to a couple of other of our producers now, and they'll tell you a little bit more about the Three Counties Cider and Perry Association, and taste a couple of their ciders.
Thank you very much, Simon. Richard.
Hello.
Hi, how are you?
Thank you.
Good, good. We're in the right place.
Here.
Yeah, look at all these amazing ciders. My name's Susanna Forbes. I'm one half of Little Pomona Orchard and Cidery, and I look after communications for the Three Counties Cider and Perry Association. And Richard?
I am the Technical Secretary for the Three Counties Cider and Perry Association. My day job is I'm the cider maker and look after the contract bottling plant at Pershore College.
Well, that's handy, isn't it? Because your cider, I believe, is going to be one from there.
Yes.
So,
Have the
of
opener.
course, there we are.
As I say, this one is a batch we have just done. With everything going on with COVID-19, there's lots of producers who are looking at how to diversify their market. This is a chap Phil Palmer from Palmer's Upland Cider, over near Rogerstone in South Wales. He's going straight into bottle. This is the first time he's ever had a product that's been filtered and carbonated. I think it's a really nice, it's a very easy drinking cider. Not one of the real heavyweights, but real comfortable.
Yeah, you've got some lovely apple pie flavours in there, a little bit of clove, a little bit of spice, and it's lovely to have it in a bottle, because normally he's bag in box. And it's quite interesting. I mean, your role on the education side, that's one of the things the Three Counties likes to support, isn't it?
Absolutely, and sometimes I think of my role as much as helping people find out where to get things from as well, because we've got huge resources available to us. People like Andrew Lee, a member of the association, but it's about asking the right people the right questions, and even other producer members, how they... I like to think we're one big family that can help each other for the benefit of cider making, rather than everyone trying to compete. We're about real cider.
Yeah, it's the craft cider sector, and in a way, we were lucky enough to be at Pershore College for CraftCon last year, weren't we? And I know it's something we'd like to do again. It's important that we have that opportunity, isn't it?
Yeah, and we absolutely adored hosting CraftCon. It was the most amazing experience, and welcome it again. But in the meantime, there's lots and lots of other things happening. Check on the Three Counties website. We've been doing virtual webinars as well, which are all now recorded in YouTube and will be available for release for anyone.
Yeah, and I think that's part of the opportunities opened up. You can find us virtually. There's also some good ways of seeing what's on and where you can buy our ciders, because your support is really important in these difficult times. I'm just opening our new cider, so this is actually released on Monday the 15th of June. So this is Dead Flowers, and this is quite a complex little cider, I would say, centred around the amazing Dabinet apple. So I would say the king of apples, Dabinet. So we've got a rich thing there. The fruit comes both from Dragon Orchard, a hallowed orchard in Putley, but also some from our own orchard, and some of it has had time in a barrel. So I think we might be picking that.
You can
Caught you on the back. Yeah. That's sort of part of the way that we're going forward, is a chance to kind of work with barrels and add in different layers of complexity. So I think the craft cider sector is evolving, and what we love about the Royal Three Counties show, so we're looking forward to it again next year, is the chance to share with you. We have a handy leaflet which we will be making available when we are relaunching our website soon. There are over a dozen cider makers you can produce, but also you can come and find people at farmers markets, at garden shows.
There's going to be very soon some tentative reopening of farmers markets and food markets.
Yes.
There's some planned for Worcestershire very shortly.
Great, that's really good news.
Cider makers will be there.
And the other thing, if you want to find out a good place to look, Camera's doing a wonderful job with its Pulling Together for Cider initiative, and you can find a UK map where you can see where you can buy all of our ciders, and also they're listing the virtual events. So perhaps we can have a little wassail, Richard, and say, looking forward to seeing you, seeing everyone again. Cheers.
Soon.